Alright, so I have time for a new tip video. I'm sorry that it's taking me so long to get back to this. It's been hectic, and I had a lot of these bigger plans on the site. Not on the site, but for YouTube. Posting, the art videos and stuff, that the smaller things kind of took a backseat. Like my tip videos, and I shouldn't have let that happen because the tip videos are a cornerstone of my channel. They're one of the parts that kind of shot me forward into the deductive field. So that being said, I'm trying to rectify that. I've got a couple tip videos planned and organized. I just need to get them out now. So without further ado, this tip video is going to be based around not jumping to conclusions. So things that can help you to take a step back, to think about the situation, and not just jump to conclusions because you see something that you think might mean something. That's the biggest mistake you can make in deduction, probably, is just trying to jump to this extravagant deduction when the answer is actually really small and right there. So that is the first tip. It's a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the facts. So don't just make deductions without thinking them through, is the first tip. The second tip I would suggest is similar to me. I've mentioned it in several of my stories. I would always second guess the popular opinion. And because I'd second guess the popular opinion, I would be thinking at it from a new light. And even if the popular opinion is right, I at least didn't just go along with it because of bias. So don't let yourself be biased. Always second guess yourself. Second guess the popular opinion. And then as you do that, you're going to be sure that if you come to that same conclusion again, it's definitely right. But if you don't second guess it and you just kind of go along with it and you come to that conclusion, you're going to be looking for evidence that supports it and ignoring evidence that would throw it to the wind. The confirmation bias is the term for that. Next one is, I don't want to say be selective, but prioritize. You can never take too much information in, but with that being said, sometimes you don't have all the time in the world to take everything in. For example, if you go into a big room and you only have a few minutes in that room, you can't take in every detail of that room. You're going to have to prioritize what you're going to look for. For example, if you step into a big room, the first things you want to look for: where's the doors? How many entrances are there? Where's the windows? How many are there? You're going to want to look at the walls, the floors, the ceilings, and anything that looks like it might be changeable on a regular basis. Like if there's things that get moved around a lot, or things that might get broken a lot. These can tell you all kinds of information about what kind of room you're in, what kind of traffic it gets, all this stuff. Now, if you have more time, that's great. You can go into as much detail as you want. But if you don't have time, you can't try and prioritize over the little details, because then you're going to miss the big things. And yes, the little details are important, but sometimes, especially if you're in a hurry or if you're in a rush, the bigger details are the ones you want to look at. Personally, I would never even consider making huge deductions when you're in a hurry anyway, because then you're trying to rush a conclusion out, and that goes back to the first thing, you're trying to jump to a conclusion. But that is a tip for that application, an application for that specific situation. Then I have two more tips. well, I'm just going to go ahead and go with the last one. I'll use the other one for another video. Filter your deductions. What I mean by filter your deductions is that if you look at someone and you find yourself instantly making an assumption about them, you've already biased yourself, and your deductions are going to be biased as well. For example, if I don't like a certain person, anything I observe about them, anything I deduce about them could become a negative assumption, could become a negative deduction, even if it's not completely true. So what you have to do is you have to stop yourself, put up a wall, and, well, by making that bias, by having that bias, you've already put up that wall. What you have to do is stop yourself and think extra hard about the deductions you're making, second guess them, like I mentioned earlier, in order to fight that little bias. And you're going to become more accurate that way if you second guess it. You're going to be slower, but speed isn't always the priority when making deductions. Accuracy is. At any rate, I hope that was helpful. Those are some of the tips I've been working on for a little bit. I've got more tips planned for the next video. Not sure when exactly I'll be able to get that out. I have a couple things I'm working on, but it is planned. I'm not trying to abandon the tip video format that I've been using. Thanks for watching. Again, if you have any questions, just go ahead and post them in the comments below, and I am saving any questions for my 221 subscriber special. So, thanks for watching, and have a good day.